Okay, so hello everyone. In this video, I just want to share with you my homemade water tank, and this is actually it. Now, inside this cabinet is actually two plastic drums with the capacity of 220 liters each, so 440 liters all in all. I'll show you that in a minute. Outside, you see, it's got a water level indicator. We've got lights here. Also here, we've got LED strip lights here, also underneath, and here inside that box. I'll show you how this thing looks at night later in this video. Okay, we have our control here, our breaker switch, and our pressure switch and pressure gauge. Here is our 1/2 horsepower water pump, and that's my cat looking for a mate. Now I decided to cover it up like this in order to keep out pests like cockroaches, ants, or rats, or even contaminants. Okay, just the same here to keep water and pests out. So let me show you what's inside here. First, let me get a ladder. Okay, so let me sweep that off first. Okay, so that way when we open this up, we won't introduce trash inside the cabinet. Hold on. So there's our two drums, drum number one and drum number two, and this is just 3/4 marine plywood. Okay, so water comes in from this side, from down there, see, and this is our breather, okay, or vents, and with those two check valves, see that? Okay, let me show you. I hope you can see that. I'll explain that, the purpose of that, in a minute. Okay, so this vent goes to our water level buoy, see. Now if you're wondering what this is our junction box for our wires. Okay, again, just to keep water, dirt, pests, rats from coming in. Okay, let me show you. Sorry about that. Here's our supply. So electricity comes from there to here down our control box. Okay, and our lights. So let me take this cover off. Hold on, I need two hands. Okay, now this is really a sealed container. Okay, as you can see, it's got rubber seals. So this is our float valve, and this as high as it goes, but as soon as the water level goes down, this will automatically open. Okay, now as for the breather, it does not go below the water, as the name itself says. It's a breather. Okay, so right there. Now I would just like to point out I finished this project September 1 of this year, and it's now November 1. Okay, and look at all the sediments. Okay, see that? Or dirt that has been deposited at the bottom of the tank, and that's just 2 months, okay, worth of accumulation. Only goes to show you how dirty our water supply is. Now if you're wondering what that silver thing is right there, that's the strainer. The other one is the drain valve. Now inside here is a strainer. Okay, I already cleaned that this about a week ago, uh, before I made this video, and this how dirty it got, and it's supposed to look like this. So let's close this and let's check the other one. So again, just like drum number one, is also sealed. See, rubber seal. So again, it's the same. Look at all the sediments that accumulated at the bottom in only a span of 2 months exactly. And that is why it's a good thing that I designed this in a way that I could easily clean the tanks. Okay, so let me close this and I'll explain further. Now, I would just like to emphasize that my system does not siphon water directly from the water source. Okay, so this is our main supply line that goes up towards our tank, as I've shown you earlier. And as for all these valves, I'll explain that later. So basically, this is our setup. This is our water supply line, input line that goes up towards our tank, towards our float valve. So more or less these two drums, particularly drum number one, is designed to be in a way a filter, okay? A gravity type filter. So as the water is introduced inside our tank, sediments or heavier particles are going to settle down on the bottom of the tank. That is why if you look at this, see that? That has a gap of 3 inches from the bottom of the tank. It is meant to keep the sediments here. So as the water rises up to here, okay, it will begin filling up drum number 2. They are going to be simultaneously filled up. See? And likewise on our second drum, as you can see that we also have a gap of 2 inches here again, just like here. See that? Okay, intended to keep sediments here. So lighter particles that manage to get through here, okay, are going to be deposited on the second drum. That is why, as you have seen earlier, when I opened the tank, this too is also filled with sediments. And for that reason, I thought it prudent, okay, to incorporate a drain valve here and also here. And this is almost flush with the bottom of the barrel. The idea being is we can drain the barrel out completely. See? So we have our water pump here and our pressure tank here and the water output line towards our home. Okay, so we are not siphoning water directly from the water supply line, okay, or the water input line. Now, as for this is what I've shown you earlier. This is our water level hose, okay, and this is our two check valves. One allows air to vent out, okay, and the other allows air to come in, but they are both closed, okay. And this is actually the check valve that I'm telling you about. One is this orientation and the other is this orientation, okay. And the reason we need this, okay, because as these two drums will be filled with water, the air, okay, inside here will be trapped and we won't be able to fill the tank completely. Okay, I'll illustrate. So imagine this our tank and this our water rising. Okay, now if this a completely sealed system, as the water rise, air inside here is trapped. You see that? See, the air is trapped. So that is why we need this in order to vent the air out in order for the water to rise up completely. Now, concomitantly, as soon as we release water, the pump is going to siphon water from both drums, okay? It is going to create a vacuum inside the tanks. Now, as the water is sucked or siphoned from down below, a vacuum is created. You see that? So that is why we have a secondary check valve that allows air to come in order to prevent a vacuum from happening. So let's come back here and let me explain the reason for all these valves, okay? So the reason for all these valves is that it allows us to conduct repairs without actually having to interrupt the flow of supply inside our house. So this our main valve. Should we close this, no water comes inside our system. So let's open that back again. So we have these two lines here. One goes through here and one goes up towards our tank. And this our check valve. It allows water to come through here, but it won't allow water to come back. Okay, that is why it's called a check valve. But we also have the option of closing this, directing all the water towards up our tank. But we need not do that. I'll explain that later a bit. So we have our water pump here, and it can siphon water either from drum number 1 or drum number 2 or both. Okay, so it goes here, down here, and out towards our pressure tank and through here. Now this, I'm not actually really concerned with the water meter, but this allows us to tell or let us know if there is a leak inside our house or the lines inside our house. Okay, should there be any leak, we would actually see this, especially this one turning. So this won't necessarily tell us where the leak is, but it would somehow let us know that there is a leak in our system. Now, the wonderful thing about this setup is, again, the reason for those valves is that should we require to replace the check valve, I mean float valve inside our drum, without actually having to stop the flow of water, we can only isolate that. See? So again, underneath here, this is for drum number 1 and this is for drum number 2. We have our drain valve here and drain valve here. Okay, let me open that little. See? Now, this allows us to clean each drum independently. So while we are cleaning drum number 1, we still have 220 liters worth of water in drum number 2. And we can also do the same for drum number 2. We can clean this independently and still have 220 liters of water in drum number 1. Should we develop a leak here and requires repair, we can do so without interrupting again the flow of water. We can just close this. See? Now say we need to conduct repairs here. Okay, as you can see, this is the connection below. Should we develop a leak here, we can do so without again interrupting the flow of supply of water. We can just isolate that and conduct our repairs. It's the same for our pressure tank. Should we require to repair this the only one that needs attention, we again close that. We open this up, conduct our repairs. No water coming out from here, again without interrupting the flow of supply of water. And also our water pump, we can replace this easily enough. It's just held on by 2 bolts. See that? And this is just easily removable. You can actually just turn this by hand. For our wirings, we need not splice or use electrical tapes. Okay, we have our terminal box here. In case this homemade acrylic box, okay, we can just unscrew this, and then screw in the new wire. Okay, very easy. As for the ground as well. So in case in this acrylic box, in order to keep water out, so this right here is our ground wire connected to this steel rod. Okay, now that steel rod is buried 3 feet deep. So this is just a matter of precaution. So should our pump get shorted out, all the electricity is going to be directed towards the ground. And also another precaution, in order to avoid electrocution, although this frame, okay, is made of steel, this pump has no contact whatsoever with the metal frame, because this, you see that is made of wood. So It serves as an insulator towards our frame. So should there be a shorting out scenario, all the electricity will be redirected, like I've said, towards our ground. So perfectly safe to hold any part of the frame without the risk of electrocution. So let's take a look inside here. We have our lock here. Slide that down. This is our breaker switch, 16 amperes. As you can see now, it is on the on position. Off position, on position. So only 16 amperes. So should we encounter an overload or shorting out, this will automatically shut off. So this is our pressure switch here, designed to turn off at 50 psi, automatically turning on should the pressure go below 20 psi. So also this box has lights inside here. Like I said, in a minute I'll show you that, okay? Now another wonderful thing with this setup is that even without electricity, say for example blackout, we still have water supply coming through. Even without electricity, the pressure may not be that great, but still we have uninterrupted water supply. So like I've said, this is what the two lines are for. See, goes directly. So this is the check valve. So should the electricity comes back on, pressure builds up on this side, it won't, it's going to shut this off. Now the water supply line will have no other choice but to redirect all that pressure up towards the tank. I'll show you, okay? So this our pressure with our water pump and pressure tank working. See, it's actually great. And this is only the pressure we get should we turn the pump off. I'll show you. So that's about it. As you can see, very dismal water pressure, but at least we still have water supply. Pressure may not be that great, but we still have water. So it's getting dark now. Already turned on the lights. As you can see, this is how it looks like at night. See, even inside here, we have lights. Down below here, our lights. Okay, so let me show you. Let me turn this on. Okay, come on, focus. It's going to turn off at 50 psi right about here, okay, in about 30 seconds, 35 seconds. Okay, see, the pump is turning. 40 psi, 45 psi, very close now to 50 psi. Right about there. Okay, so one other thing, I also incorporated a outdoor plug. Okay, this way, should I need to do work here that requires power tools, I no longer need to use extension wires. Okay, so let me close that, lock that. So I designed this thing to be easily repairable. Should the need arise to replace the LED light here, we can do that easily enough. I don't know if you noticed that, but that is just only actually a jar of mayonnaise, okay? Waterproof, but it serves the purpose. Should we need to replace the LED strip light, also again, we can do so easily just by removing it like so. Okay, here it's the same. See, I'm sorry about the camera movement. Should we require to remove this, we can also do that easily enough. It's just held on by these stainless bolts. Of course, we need to again first remove this, and again without interrupting water supply, because we can close this here, see. So that's my water tank. So this is what I have been up to lately. Okay, I'm very sorry if I haven't uploaded any videos lately. To be honest, I just lost interest. Okay, I really am sorry. I really am. We sometimes get so little views, and we sometimes get discouraged, disappointed, and we ask ourselves, what's the point? So for that, I really am sorry. But anyway, from time to time, I will try to make videos again, upload more videos. But anyway, this video is more or less just an update to let you know that I'm okay. For those of you who have been wondering as to what happened to me, thank you for all your concern. I'm actually okay. I just lost interest, but maybe in time I will try to refocus and regain interest. And so, thank you for all your concern, and thank you for watching.